Now, one of the major sports stories of this week was the Tokyo Olympics finally being postponed. Well, for more on this, we're joined by double Olympic champion Kelly Holmes. Kelly, a very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Let's start then with that IOC announcement this week to postpone the Games until 2021. Decision perhaps coming a little later than many expected, but was it the right call?
Yep, absolutely. The right call. Sport is a wonderful thing, but sport can be postponed. Lives being saved can't, so absolutely.
And I suppose the IOC were left with little decision or little other option once Canada and Australia said that they wouldn't be taking or sending their athletes to the Games.
Yeah, and I think what we've got to remember is the level playing field was no longer level when you've got countries that have been in lockdown for far longer than others, athletes not being able to train, gyms being closed, etc. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a great point. And look, let's just talk a little bit about those athletes who are coming to terms with what was that decision that was made this week. Because, of course, reaching the Olympics is the zenith of any athlete's career. It's a 4-year cycle, so many building toward peaking at the Games. All the athletes had been just months away from competing at the highest level. How will they feel, do you think, about having to wait another year? And what's the best advice you'd give them?
Yeah, I mean, it's very disappointing, obviously, from an athlete's perspective, because you train for the Olympic Games. It's every 4 years. It's the pinnacle of most sporting people's careers. What I think now is that adapting and mindset is key. How do you keep fit, motivated, ready for when the season hopefully might still start later on in the year? We don't know. I think what's going to be disappointing for some is those that maybe this was their final year. They were going to retire after the Games, you know. That's now a big decision of what they do with their career. So many athletes will be at different stages of dealing with the fact that this postponement's happening, but it's a postponement. So, you know, you just have to adapt your training, you have to adapt your mindset, and you have to deal with what's happening. And this could be like if you had a bad injury and it was setting you back, what would you do to make those changes? And I think we have to look at it on a positive, that they're not getting cancelled, they're getting postponed.
Yeah, adjustment is such a big feature for so many people, isn't it? Tough times for everybody at the moment. And being housebound, of course, can be challenging. I know you've taken to social media to try and help people stay active. Just tell us what you've been up to.
Yes, that's right. So on my Instagram, Real Kelly Holmes 1500 in particular, my Twitter, I've been structuring my day, because I found that with this unprecedented time, it really changes everything you do, and your routine gets just messed up, and that can be really bad for your head. So what I started doing was structuring my day, writing down what I wanted a day, my timetable then, and then I thought, well, actually, why not share this with others? So I started about 10 years ago doing a chair routine with my dad to start with, and then I thought, oh, fitness, obviously, doing routines, and then I thought, well, mental well-being is really important, because there's a lot of people that are feeling isolated, lonely, unsure what they're going to do. So I started to show them a little bit of my life, and one of the things that makes me feel good is to come down to the field and field. I have 6 alpacas, so I've been feeding them in the mornings. I've been showing that live on my Instagram story every morning, and then I've also been doing a chat during the day with people that want to tie in with me to have a talk about how they're feeling about dealing with stress and anxiety during these times. So I've kind of been mixing it up so that it's inclusive. One of the lovely things I did the other day was to join Baroness Tanny Gray Thompson. I asked her if she'd like to join one of my chair workouts. So we did a dual workout for the elderly, people less mobile, and people in a wheelchair, and that was a wonderful session as well.
What a brilliant thing to do. I've got to say, you make that chair workout look very easy indeed, but I know you talk anyone through it who wants to get involved. Let me just, before, I know the alpacas are behind you and they want a slice of the action this morning. You can just hear that. But what kind of things are you hearing? I know you hold conversations with people struggling with mental health. What kind of things are you hearing, and what advice are you giving them?
Well, a lot of people are unsure. They haven't got their structure anymore. We're a creature of habit, our routines. We like routine, and that's been torn up, thrown apart, and we can't do what we normally do. And so one of the things I've been saying to people is that what you need to do is think it in a positive. I think during this time I'm trying to give positivity to people to show them that they can do things maybe that they kept thinking they should be doing, that they've neglected. Look after your health, your well-being, you can train more. And what I'm trying to do by doing the home workouts is to show people that you can adapt your training. One of the conversations which was quite interesting with Tanny was for athletes. A lot of athletes in particular, and people that train in gyms, don't train at home. So then suddenly their mind goes blank. What can I do at home? But you can do so many things in your house using lots of different pieces of equipment, chairs. I've been using tins for my home workouts. You can use your steps, your stairs, to adapt. And people are sort of saying that they just feel lonely and isolated, so having that connection with people over social media has been really helpful for people. Understanding and knowing what to do to structure their days. And I've been saying, whilst you might think about your future, at the moment we should also think about the here and now. So are you eating healthy still? Are you thinking in a positive frame of mind? Are you keeping yourself active? And are you connecting with people, phoning them, doing FaceTime? I did a party last night with my friends and family. We all tied into Zoom. We all had a drink. I did quiz night, name the music, and it was just a way of socialising, which I found, you know, again, for my own well-being, just something that I could smile about.
Absolutely brilliant, Kelly. I love all the sound of that. We did something similar with our family last night on Zoom. It's great, isn't it? And you've invited people in, and that involves feeding the alpacas there. Just tell us a little bit about them. How did that come about?
Well, OK, you can see one of them trying to get the food. So basically, I've got 6 alpacas. I've had them for nearly 11 years now. And I just thought to myself, like, why don't I show people them live? And the feeds is going, oh my God, this brightens up my day. It's making me smile. It's making me happy. Because this is a calming environment. You know, it's a situation where people don't normally get involved in. So I've been feeding them. And basically, they're really good at mowing the lawn. That's, that's literally it. I got them because of having this wonderful opportunity to have a lovely property, and I had this field, and somebody, a local company, had offered me a ride on mower. So I thought, oh, brilliant. But then I realised that it took 2 hours of my life to mow that field. So I was thinking, I've got to find another way. I went on this quick run, and a farmer said to me, I saw these weird things hanging over a fence. And the farmer said they were llamas. And I said, oh, OK, yeah. And they said, have a look at these. And there was smaller, about this height, and it was the black one, Licorice, have I called, and Fudge, who's very camera shy at the back. They were about 6 months old, and I said, what do they do? And he said, well, they eat hedges and grass. So I was like, oh my gosh, brilliant. So I got to realise that they needed to be in packs because they were just isolating themselves in the corner. Got another 4, and here we are 11 years later with alpacas.
Oh, well, look, Kelly, thanks very much for introducing them. They're certainly not camera shy, are they? And look, I'm trying to persuade my wife to get maybe a little puppy, but maybe now alpaca is the way forward. I don't know, but we'll see. Look, thank you so much.
I think that's
It might be a bit of a push.
You're welcome.